party going. So it is March 1st, and you guys, whatever happened in February, happened in February. Leave it in the past. If you had an awesome month, yay, celebrate. We will celebrate you this week. And shout out to tell your coach. But if things didn't go your way, that's okay. Regroup, gather yourself. You're here tonight. I applaud you. And it's a fresh month. It's a fresh start. And there's lots to lean into with this team and your own health journey. So I just announced the book club that we are going to do. There's no plan B for your A game. It's on Amazon. I know Brittany said she got a steal of a deal on Target. So I'm already in chapter 3. It's really good. And it's just a really good story, but he also has wherever you are at in your coaching journey. I think whether it's I'm just straight up discount, I think it's just a good book for anyone to read, to just figure out what they want out of life and how to stay on course, so it's just, I'm loving it so far. We will have our first discussion. We'll have 2 discussions a month. The first one I think is starting March 13th on Saturday mornings, kind of like a book club coffee chat. So that's starting up. The Diamond Push group, we are starting next week. So it must be Emerald by this upcoming Thursday to enter. And I sat down with some leaders this morning and got it all planned out. And I'm so excited. So if that is your goal in the near future, I highly recommend you get in that group. We will start adding people. I just opened it up today. So we'll start adding people through the week. And then this week and these next couple weeks, the focus is, if you're not running your own challenge group, that you are helping another coach run theirs, right? If you're not the one that is personally posting every day and showing up, remember, you are a coach. You need to be showing up in a group just as much, even though it's maybe not your group. Your customers, if you're adding customers to someone else's group, they need to see their coach active every single day, not just on social media, but in a group, maybe it's just a messaging thread. However you do it, you need to be active. And that is the focus for me. And I encourage all of you, that's what you should be inviting to some kind of March boot camp or virtual gym, challenge group, whatever you want to call it. I'm calling mine Spring into Fitness. So yeah, lots of fun things to dive into. And we're going to go ahead. I love doing kind of every few months. I feel like we've done a Q&A, and can just be about anything. I wrote down some of the questions that you guys had dropped in the comments section of the Facebook team page post. And I feel like it just gives me as well, a good, just check in to see where everybody's at, on the wide scale of the team and not just so individually. But also this is very interactive. So feel free to unmute yourself, ask a question, or drop it in the chat. And if someone else has a better answer than I do, go ahead and take the answer. I've been a coach for 4.5 years. I'm sure I haven't experienced every situation, but I've also been through a lot. So I can share whatever wisdom I have with you guys. But also I know I don't know it all, and I'm learning every single day. Amen. I'm learning all about reels. I'm learning all about new ways to connect on Instagram all the time, because things are always changing. It doesn't stay the same ever. So the basics stay the same. We connect, we invite, we post, we share, but things just change. So the first question was from Brittany. I see you on here. She said she's pushing for 1 star, super exciting. And so what is kind of a solid diamond, would you say? Before going and building your husband's account. So I wish I would have known kind of that. I heard it from another coach, after you get to diamond, you then need to get yourself to a solid diamond. Because for myself, and I see it happen all the time, you get to diamond, it's great, you push hard, and then all of a sudden that urgency that you had to get to diamond kind of fizzles out, and that offense mode that you had going into diamond fizzles out, and it kind of crumbles. And it happens to me. It happened to me when I hit diamond. I hit it in July, and then I didn't hit 1 star until 6 months later. But I think there's diamond, and there's also a solid diamond. So it's not every single Thursday when you wake up, you're looking at your back office. Did I lose it today? Did I not? Do I have it today? What's going on? One day, you want to wake up and you don't want to have to question, is diamond in the bag this week? Or is it just always solid? because trust me, this business is a lot more freeing when you get to that point when it's just like, I know my diamond is solid. And I consider a solid diamond when you have 6 active coaches on each leg. So 6 on each leg, and then 2 emeralds on each leg. So if one emerald goes out, you have another emerald there. If another one emerald goes out, you have another emerald there. If there's a couple inactive coaches, you know, but also at the same time, like, I think once you hit diamond, like that push for 1 star should happen pretty soon, right? Like it shouldn't be like a year later. For me, 6 months later. I think looking back, I wish I would have kept that offensive mode that I did to get to diamond, going to 1 star instead of kind of like crumbling and falling apart. But it's a process and we all learn. So that is what I would say. Does that answer your question, Brittany? Anything? Okay.
Yes.
Alexis, I don't know if Alexis is on tonight. She asked about also push to diamond. And obviously I think she'll be in the push to diamond group. If you're pushing to diamond, get in that group. It's going to be just really emphasizing the activities of a diamond coach. So my biggest tip of getting to diamond is act like you're a diamond coach before you're a diamond coach. You know, if you have 2 coaches on your team, or that's what I've always been told, like, okay, I want to go 5-star elite, act like a 5-star elite coach before you're a 5-star elite coach. And that's how you be a 5-star elite coach. So I was like, okay, well, what's a 5-star elite coach do? I see them, they're all running their own team calls. They're running their own sneak peeks. They're, you know, they just have that culture that is a little bit higher standard. So think of the diamond coaches that you know, or that maybe you follow on this team, off this team, and what kind of things are they doing? And if you don't know, ask them. So that would be my biggest advice to getting to diamond. Get in that group and then act like you're diamond before one. I feel like that question could go into a whole other call in itself, by the way. Let's see, I think Jessica was the one who asked about reels, and I am not a reels training person. I'm not going to sit here and teach you how to do reels, but I'm going to encourage you to just go out and do a reel. It's probably going to suck. It's probably going to be awful and terrible your first time. I would like go back and look at my first reel or anyone on this call's first reel. We don't know what we're doing. It's awkward. The timing's off, but like just keep trying. And reels are, I am going to say, like, reels are the direction that Instagram right now seems to be going. So try and get on that bandwagon, like make it your goal, maybe like once a week or once every other week to do a reel. And the kind of nice thing is to do a popular one. That's actually what Instagram, they will put your reel out there more, from what I've been told and what I hear. If it's like, if you see a really easy reel of like someone just like lip syncing or like lip talking someone else's voice, and like if you see it all the time, like do that reel. Like that will probably get your page and your face into a lot of other people's Instagram face. I can't even think of words to say Instagram pages. So don't like overcomplicate it. Make it super simple. And then as you just learn and as you go, like try new things out. So that would be my biggest tip for that. Also with reels, like if you see a reel you like and want to do, like save it. Make sure to hit like the save button, which is that little like bookmark looking thing below a reel post. And you can also click on the audio section and you can put save audio. So it's not like you have to do it right then, but it's like, hey, I actually like that reel. I connected to it. I thought it was funny. I'm going to save it for, I'll look at it this weekend and I'll see maybe if I can recreate that in some way. Right. And you also don't need to like create a reel and post it right away. I think you can, like, for a lot of my reels, like I've created them and then they kind of just sit there. I kind of edit them. And then for when I don't have a post for that day, I'll throw up a reel and see how it does. So just have fun with it. But I also think you do, if you're not doing it, to give it a shot and just like know it's probably gonna be terrible and awkward, but let us know and we will all come and like it and cheer you on and love it and all those things. What'd you say, Brittany? Make drafts and change. Oh yes, make drafts, change shirts, stuff, do multiple in a day. That's a good idea, especially like if working full time and you just, it's like you're short on time, like do a couple on Saturdays over the weekend. Like they actually go pretty fast once you get in the groove of it. What else? Let's see. Catherine, I don't know if she's on here tonight, asked about avoiding burnout, which totally I get. And I especially think this time of year, just with COVID and coming off quarantine, and it's like, it's still not ending, like, or a lot of us who've been around for a while, like, we all feel that to an extent. And my few pieces of advice are just your journey first, always. Sometimes that means like taking a break for a week. I thought I saw Shelby on here, but I know like Shelby and Kelsey, two like leaders on the team, they just took a break from not like doing like taking care of themselves, but they just took a break from workouts for a week, and like that rejuvenated them so much. Or maybe it's like you just need to change your maybe 9 week you're like isn't your jam, so you just need to change it. That's okay. For me, I know like with this pregnancy, I just have to go by, like, I'm not following a rule book right now. I have to do what's best for my journey. And I think just making sure you are always focusing on your journey first, not like, well, what's the whole team doing? What do I need to be doing? What is Beachbody wanting us to do this month? Like, focus on you first, and like that burnout will less likely happen. And I also think like when you're sharing your story authentically, that burnout will less likely happen, because then you're connecting with more people authentically. But when you're just sharing like the sweaty selfie or the things that you think you need to share, like that gets boring and that gets tiring, and you're not finding your people. Jumping onto these team calls, listening to the national wake up call, doing personal development. For me, those are all ways that like, if like I am just leaning into you guys and getting inspired by you guys daily, like that encourages me to go out and be like, dang, like I want to keep inviting because I want to keep adding to this really, really cool community. So those are just like little ways. And I think we all go through seasons and weeks and months where like, of course, coaching or our health journeys aren't as exciting. So we just need to mix it up. I know a lot of you are going to be changing up your nutrition or trying out a new program or doing the 21-day reset. Like those are all, there's just so many ways to just change it up when things start to get boring and you start to burn out, in my opinion anyways. Someone asked about taxes. I feel like I'm talking a million miles an hour a minute too. So let me take a drink. There is, I think, a document. If it's not in our team page, I'll double check. It's in the Fit and Fierce one, which is my coach Megan's team page. But basically, like anything, which hasn't been a lot for us recently, but like travel expenses would be anything like plane tickets, stay, gas, your business fee, that $15, $16 business fee. All products can be written off. Your monthly Shakeology, monthly Energize, double monthly Energize. I don't know how much it is, but all your products, any gifts that you get coaches. So I know I write off like all my Success Club gifts, Diamond gifts, Emerald gifts, all those can be written off. Any like ring lights or any props you use for coaching, personal development books. I know like this Zoom account that I have like the upgraded Zoom account, which is like $15 to $20 a month, I think. So that's written off. There can be like a lot of stuff written off, but I will say I probably didn't really start writing those things off until 2 years into my business, when it was more significant. Like the first, plus you won't get a 1099 unless I think it's $600. You have to make over $600 that year, and then you'll get a 1099. So and now I use a tax. We used to do it on TurboTax, and I think you can still write all these things off. But my tax accountant, he's like, you are promoting a lifestyle. Like really, like even like sweat, like if you got something for like tennis shoes for your workouts, like that could be written off. So he's like really opened my eyes to, there's a lot of things that we can write off. But I would say, like, especially if you're a newer coach, there's probably not, you're probably not getting a lot of diamond gifts or emerald gifts or Success Club. I don't know. Maybe you are buying a lot of people those kind of gifts or traveling all these travels. But I think the products and the fees and just like those little things, you definitely want to keep track of. And I probably go in like every quarter and maybe like update. I have like a little Google Doc that I just say like, what did I spend on coaching this month? It's super simple. It's not overwhelming. And I don't know, I try not to overthink it. And even like I've done it last year, I think I didn't keep track at all, or 2 years ago, I didn't keep track at all. And it only took me like an hour to go back through and look at everything that I bought. So, okay. I feel like I just spit a bunch of stuff at you guys. So I'm going to read. I haven't even looked at the comments. And you can unmute yourself too. I don't think there's any questions in there. Okay, what else do you guys have? What else can I answer? What else you guys want to talk about? Because I'm up for anything tonight.
Is there a different way to get your products like paid for? Like I've heard you can get your products paid for when you reach a certain level or earning level, or is it just you make as much money as you spend? Or is there like a level that you reach where you're like, hooray, you get free Shakeology?
No, there's nothing like that, like per se of like, oh, you hit this, Shakeology is free. No, there's not.
Okay.
You know, for me, I always say like, if you help 3 people a month with the challenge pack, you're gonna get, you know, in commission, you'll be able to like cover all your business fees and
Okay.
most likely your products, unless you're ordering like a bunch of products.
Yeah.
So there's that. And then even like when you get to diamond isn't guaranteed like, you know, a weekly thing, because like it just depends on how your team is growing. So I would just say it really just depends on how your team is growing and the volume.
Cool. Thanks.
Mm-hmm. It's good to see you on this call, Katie. I feel like I haven't seen you in a while.
I know, it's been a minute.
Your little guy is so cute and getting so big.
Thanks.
I guess
Can I ask how you're feeling? I know your posters, you're so good about being authentic in your posts, but how are you really doing?
The night times are hard, so I won't lie. Like it's a struggle to get. I'm once I'm on, I'm like, oh, this is so fun. But like nights, I'm just tired. I'm just really tired, and like I could sleep for like 10 to 12 hours straight.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I could just sleep a lot, so I don't have so much to complain about. But I will say nights are still rough.
Yeah,
which
Good.
makes like dinner rough, and which makes like bedtime kind of rough. So could be worse.
Yeah.
I hear
Yeah,
like
for sure.
like when I've shared like my stuff, and then I hear like women's like, well, I puked until I gave birth. I'm like, okay, that sounds awful.
Yeah.
So I count my blessings. But thanks for asking. Thought I saw. Does someone else have a question?
I had one, and I feel like this might be just word vomit, but one thing I feel like I've been struggling with on and on for the last couple months is just like I will like lack the confidence, and I'll be like, I'm just gonna stop this and quit. Like, what's one thing that you think you like? I mean, for anyone, like when you're going through those times of like, I don't know if I want to do this, like that kind of keeps you going.
I know for me, and then I'll let anyone answer that wants to answer. It's like I just like I needed to figure out where I wanted to go with this. And I knew that like one, I was still going to be doing the workouts in a month from now, a year from now. I love the products. I'm still going to be using it. So like what direction do I want to go in? And like for me, I've had a big why from the start. Like I wanted to replace my teaching income. Like but once I got really I was really scared to say that for like my whole first year of coaching. Like I never said it to anybody, like not even my husband. Once I like started saying those things, and like that's when I got really laser focused, and like I just knew where I was going, and it made it easy on the month, not easy, but just on the months when things kind of sucked to just keep going. But yeah,
I've actually struggled lately too. I've talked to Brook and stuff about it. But I think you have to remember why you started in the first place, and it was for yourself. And then you will regain that confidence in yourself. You just have to keep yourself focused on you, and then just sharing authentically. We all get caught up in really pushing. I'm very hard on myself. So you just have to remember why you started. And then like my goals have shifted a little bit for myself. I work full time. I'm a coach. I'm a prom sponsor. I'm a mom, I'm a wife. So I actually have shifted my focus to where I want to hit 1-star like soon and go further. I would like to, oddly enough, come home and do this full time, which is weird because I'm always the working person. I hate not working like out of the home, but this is a legit job, you guys. And I've realized that a lot just in 2021. Like I could do this full time and like absolutely love it. Just don't forget where you started or why you started.
And I think kind of like to what Brittany just said too, like she told me as well, like, hey, I'm struggling. Like I'm, you know, and just like being open with people and like you just asked, like how, because we all struggle and we all, the more we mask it, like that helps nothing. And then you just quit. And it's like, well, maybe if someone would have just like breathed a little life into you or breathed a little confidence into you, like you would have just gotten over that hump. And now I look at Brittany, like crushed February, and like you had a couple hard months there these last few months.
Oh man, yes I did.
And then like you hit success, but crushed February, you have 2 new emeralds that just popped. And like sometimes I just thinking, like knowing, always saying, we say a lot on this team, like the dam will break. The dam will break. Like we are fighting against this wall. And like everyone is saying no. I'm feeling like so defeated. But if you just keep pressing a little bit every day, like it's gonna break. And it's so sweet when it does.
As like a newer coach, I just want you to know too, and I feel like I've done well month to month, but it's not a feeling that is like, I feel like I wake up like this every day. I have this moment where I literally think like, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? Working full time and having 2 little babies and like, I don't know, just feeling like that warm market is changing. I feel like this all the time, but I really just try and lean into the women that have already joined and like reach out for feedback. And I think, again, like they've mentioned, having your why be something that's not extrinsic. Like for me, my why has been myself since the beginning because I'm terrible about focusing on myself. And that has made it like I'm coming up on 10 months, almost, it's going to be a year in May of like working out every single day, if not doing some form of active activity. And I haven't done that since being like an athlete in college. So it's finding that why makes it easier to get through those moments when you're like, what the heck am I doing? And then I honestly, if I have a day where I can't, like the invites just don't feel real, I've been batching a lot of my invites as like, you know, I just do my invites on Monday mornings and get them, do 20, 30, sometimes 50, depending on what my goals are, and then work through follow-ups, and it changes my week when I know I'm going to work every day. So that's been helpful with like that feeling of like, why am I doing this? This seems crazy, especially being like new and not seeing, you know, you're still in like the front end of all of the potential. So
I think I felt that way, like for the first 2 years, Caitlin. Like, you're like waking up and being like, "Am I really doing this? Like, am I really like sharing my story this open on social media?" And like, help. It was just like it's a weird feeling, but it goes away. It does go away. I'll tell you that if you stick with it, and because it feels really good. Great question, Becca. Oh, so Catherine, you asked, is there a simple way to log into the back office, like an app? I'm pretty sure there is. However, I don't have it. I just go to like I type in like coach team Beachbody and it pulls up. And then I can just go to the coach, just put in my coach information and go there. Does anyone have the coach office app? Yes, I think she said she does go through Team Beachbody. Rebecca, do your challengers seem to see the value in Shakeology so that they want to sign up for the discount? I feel like that's a struggle for myself and my coaches, as a lot of our challengers immediately choose to skip Shakeology the next month. Ooh, that's a tough one. Mm-hmm. I know.
So
Yeah, go
Sorry
ahead.
to interrupt. Lately, for me, if they are like unsure of Shakeology, I actually recommend the performance pack, because 9 times out of 10, you're not going to meet someone who doesn't love Energize, at least. And they're more likely to stick with that package, I think, than Shakeology, because sometimes it's texture or flavor for people. So I almost always recommend the performance pack anymore, because I feel like more people like that.
Now, I would say I agree with that. However, I still believe Shakeology is the number one tool we have. So I always recommend Shakeology. And then I will say, I do what I call like upshare. And like, you might not feel comfortable doing this, and it's okay. Like, I'll have, like, if they're like, all right, we're ready to go, like, get their Shakeology flavor, I send them an email. I will add on Energize to their cart for the $40 extra. And no one has ever taken it off. And I'll send them the cart, and I will say, like, hey, just so you know, there was a discount price on Energize. I drink it. It's that little yellow drink you see me drinking every single day. Like, they see me drinking it every single day. So it's not like, what is this? She just added to my cart. And I say, you can feel free to take it off or not. So then, like, and then they fall in love with Energize. Like, they're loving their workouts. They're like feeling better. They're drinking shit. So I kind of feel like for me, that has helped them, because paired with the workouts, or if you feel more comfortable being like, hey, I'd rather like bring up Energize first, like, do that. But I've had really good luck with being like, they already trust me to this point where I'm sending them a cart for Shakeology. I'm just going to be like, hey, you see me drinking this little drink every single day. It's going to help with your workouts. I know you're a busy like lady or mom or whatever they're going through. You can take it off. It's no big deal. And they've always left it on. And I feel like that for me has helped stick with Shakeology, because their workouts are rocking. And then they're like, well, my nutrition needs to be step up, and Shakeology helps. And I don't know, I could probably be doing a better job, because it is, I think, just emphasizing it a lot in my groups too, like every single week, or like having a post, not even just around Shakeology, but it's like, share your shake this week. Like, what are, just like having them see all the people that are drinking it and how it is helping them, just educating them as well. And yes, Brittany, I used to be really scared to do it. And then I just started doing it, and no one has ever taken it off.
Well, I'm going to start doing that now.
Because they see me drinking it every day. So it's like, oh yeah, if it helps her, and I'm already trusting her with these workouts and Shakeology, and they can take it off. It's not like I'm tricking them. Like, I told them, like, hey, you can take this Energize off, but I think you would really, really like it. So
I remember you did that to my cart when I signed on, and I remember like catching it and thinking like, that's genius. Like, I was totally on to you, but I totally fell for it. I was like, that's so smart.
I mean, companies are like when we go shopping, they do that to us all the time. It's like, oh, do you want to add this on for this much
I fall
more?
for it at Target. Why not on Beachbody?
Yeah. So that's funny. So, but if you're not sharing Energize every day, then they aren't going to know. So it is kind of like, if you got to be consistently sharing your products, so they're like, oh yeah, I do see you drinking that every single day. It's not a weird thing that you're sneaking into my cart.
I'll also say the slides that you've made about what's actually in it help a lot. Yeah, because there is so much crap out there, and people can still think whatever they want. But I think kind of repeating like the list of everything that's really in it helps a lot in your groups and just on normal social. Coming from me who hasn't posted in forever, but
no, that's good to hear. And I remember like when I would see, yeah, just like all that's in it, I'm like, oh yeah. And like I see like I've seen recently like some bloggers, they've been like, yeah, I need to be eating more, or like taking in ashwanda. And I'm like, that's in Shakeology. So like she's like taking this daily like pill of ashwanda, and like, you know, all these people are seeing it. I just want to be like, or you could be drinking this shake and it has all other stuff in it plus ashwanda. I don't even know. That's a good reminder. what other questions?
Do you have any luck with customer leads? Like, do you have an approach that you take with customer leads, or?
I have an email that I send them if I can find them on Facebook. I personally don't, but I also have a good coach friend who always texts, because you do get their phone number for the most part, I think. And she always texts them, and she says she almost always gets a response, but I always do email and just I put, "Hi, I'm your coach," like a little bit about myself. I actually have a group going on right now. What are your health goals? And just like try and be personable. Like, I'm not someone weird, but sometimes they respond, sometimes they don't. I haven't found the secret sauce.
Texting is not actually
Yeah.
how I feel about my number, but it's
Yeah.
probably, I could see why that would be like
Yes.
maybe more immediate of a response.
Yeah. She says she has good luck with it. I think she said one time she had someone be like, like in all caps, "Stop texting me." And then she's like, "I texted him one time." Like they thought it was like this automated service or something, which I thought was funny.
And then would she just recommend, like if she's adding them to the group, ask them to upgrade to like a challenge pack, or would that be her? I guess it depends.
I have just done it kind of. I usually do say that, but honestly, I think it just depends where you're at with your business.
Yeah.
Because you just don't even know the person, you don't know like where they're at, and who knows if by just adding them in for a week or a month, like if they're gonna upgrade and then sign up as a rockstar coach. But at the same time, you just don't want them sucking all the life out of you and getting free. I know you pour a lot of energy into your groups, and
I've actually had really good results from the women that I've let in, either with previous Beachbody.
Yeah.
Because a lot of my girls drink or use products and they talk about them. And so then a lot of those people are like, "What are you guys using?" Or a couple of them are considering, doing the coach route. So so far, it's been worth letting some of the ones in that I was like, there's no points. But again, that's not what, I guess personally, it's not like what it completely is about. So
you just don't want people. Yeah. You just want to make sure you're running it in a way that like people aren't taking advantage of you.
Absolutely.
Because it's not always fun when like you're giving and then there's no return. And usually people will put their time where they put their money and their effort. It's like, well, if I paid for this stuff, I'm going to show up to this group and work hard. But yeah, that's not always true. Sometimes your best people come from, which is, I think, just freedom on our end. Like, we're all our own business owners, so we can make that call. There's no set rule.
And I will say too, I've had a couple women that have done like the 3-month pod, and I've just messaged them and said, if you're going to join, not with the challenge pack, I need you to be a big cheerleader, cheer everyone on, jump in, like dive head in. And it's been really big. All of them have then switched to like a challenge pack for their sign up. So I just like kind of as like, if you're going to join our gym without paying the membership, then you need to come in and be a rock star.
Yeah.
So
that's a good way to put it. Catherine, if someone is signing up strictly as a discount coach, is that worth adding spouse to second leg for Emerald, or do you want to wait till you have a business builder? No, I would go for it. Add your spouse. If you got one other coach you can put on on the other leg, sign up your spouse, go Emerald, because you never know what that coach is going to do. You never know if that's going to inspire, them seeing you go Emerald might inspire them to want to do something with it, or just like inspire someone else to be like, hey, she just went Emerald, like I want to sign up to be a coach. You just never know. And the more, like, once you can get that momentum start rolling, the better. So that would be my suggestion. It doesn't matter if they're discount, because trust me, I've had plenty of girls tell me I'm just discount and then jump in. I mean, 80% of the team just discount and then they jump in and work the business. So you never know. Yes. So yes. sorry, I was just reading it in my head, Ashlyn. So for the group, if like their orders are going to go through, like if she's saying she's not like an active maybe Emerald coach right now, but
Right.
their orders are going to go through, later this week or next week, like that is fine. That's fine.
Okay, I was like, I don't need to reach out to them and be like, hey, you got to place your order like right now.
No.
Okay. Okay, good.
We just didn't want someone who's like been an inactive Emerald for 6 months. Like, okay, come on.
Right.
Like you gotta, we want you to be working and putting the time and effort in. So yes, good question. Your spouse to stay active, they need 50 PV monthly. Good question. So I have always kept Shakeology under my personal account for that 90 personal volume on Home Direct for Success Club. And then I've ordered everything else through Josh's account. So Energize, Hydrate, Beach Bar, or whatever you use. If you're not using many other products, you can easily do like a pack of Beach Bars and a 10 pack of Hydrate or something like that and equal 50 PV.
So do you keep Josh's account open through like your own personal orders?
Yes. Well, he uses it too. And like the coach, or not coaches, my kids use, oh my gosh, they go through like a whole thing of Hydrate in like a week. so, but yes, like it's our family's personal orders.
Cool.
Yeah.
I've actually had people ask about Daily Sunshine. Have you tried that?
I have tried the chocolate and it was good. I don't think, have I tried the strawberry banana? I kind of, since I like give my kids Shakeology, like a fourth of Shakeology, I haven't really like needed, I feel like we have so many shakes and smoothies and drinks regardless, but they eat veggies really well, but if they struggled eating veggies, I would probably give them Daily Sunshine for sure.
Okay. Like, do you think that's better than Shakeology for kids?
I don't know. I don't know if it's better, but I know it is more like veggie. Like it just is like we'll give them more veggies, not necessarily all like vitamins and minerals.
Okay.
From what I know of it.
Cool. That makes sense.
All right, you guys, we'll give time for a couple more questions and then I'm gonna go to bed because it's been a good Monday, but I know want everyone to be refreshed and energized first week of March. Well, any last burning questions or things you're needing for your business, advice, tips?
I'm being summoned, so I'm gonna go. But
good to see
bye,
you
guys.
Katie.
Have a good week.
You too.
Thank you as always.
Yes. And Caitlin, your daughter, so it's eggs, right? You said?
Peanuts and eggs. But I think the issue is the may contain. I think they're made in a facility across the board, even like the Recover and stuff, which is kind of a bummer because she is like
super
obsessed with.
Oh, and is she super allergic too?
Yeah, she's anaphylactic. So, but I mean, fortunately, like I make my shakes in the morning before she's around, and but yeah, I know she would personally like to. If she catches me, it's always like, "Mommy, I try some." I'm like, "No." Even like the Beach Bars, I keep them at work because they're really, really good, but they are. So someday, I have a feeling.
She might grow out of it.
So, weird. We have a family member who has a nut allergy, and she went through like this testing where they made her eat the nuts and like build up her immunity to them, and it like worked. Kind of crazy.
Yeah, it just got FDA approved. So like our allergist, we go through the university, they do everything like very by the book. Not that anything's wrong with doing it differently, but she the only issue with it is like you have to, at least for children, you have to ingest it daily while being monitored. And then you still have to carry EpiPens and avoid the allergen because it doesn't fix it. And so it's like, it's really hard because our families are very like unexposed to it. And so they like already have a hard enough time taking it seriously. So we kind of worry about her being on that treatment and then being like, oh, well, now we don't have to worry about it at all. So we're like in a really weird place of doing that because we already have a really hard time, surprisingly, with like family and friends respecting that. So that's I think, you know, we can go to space and do all these other things eventually, but we had our first scare and Mama Bear, like, I am in full force, like no patience for anybody. So we might not be going to any form of a potluck or social gathering for the rest of her life, but but it'll get better.
So scary.
It was awful.
So helpless.
And I had my baby in the car, like my friend had to take Jack, and I was by myself, and I was just like, and we have like a very strict action plan for like epiing her and stuff. And the ER was like, we were not in where we live. We were away from where we live. And it just like I felt super out of control. Like you know, like I was just like, I just want her to be okay, which she ended up okay. But it was very humbling. And there are a lot worse things. So, but anyways.
We're glad she's okay.
Same.
Scary stuff.
Took me about 5 days to start sleeping again, but I'm officially sleeping again. So
except like I'm surprised. Like I can handle like a lot of stuff. I feel like is like blood and like I've like done natural births and just like I feel like I'm really strong in that. Like, but when it comes to your kids, like
oh yeah.
I freak out. Like if something like if they really like start bleeding a ton from like their head or mouth or like, you know, my daughter she woke up covered in like hives. I just started screaming. It just when it's your child, it's a lot different.
Yeah.
For me anyways.
I do crazy stuff at work every day. And like I was fine in the moment in the sense of like for her, but I just like had the weirdest high and coming down off of it for like a week. I actually just reached out to my challenge group. That's how that whole dump post came about. Like I was like, guys, I am hardcore struggling. And then everybody just started like vomiting everything they're struggling with. And I was like, thank you. Okay. I feel better. I'm good. Awesome. So
yes, we don't have to hide that the head burdens and the heaviness, which is so nice.
Yep.
So all right, you guys. Thanks for jumping on tonight. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Hi, thanks.